Section 1 of The Toilers of the Sea by Victor Hugo. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain, read by John Greenman. Book First, What a Bad Reputation is Composed of. Chapter 1, A Word Written on a Blank Page. The Christmas of 1820 was remarkable in Guernsey. It snowed on that day. In the Channel Isles the winter where it freezes to the point of forming ice is memorable, and snow is an event. On the morning of that Christmas day the road which skirts the seacoast from St. Peter's Port to Levaille was perfectly white. It had been snowing from midnight until dawn. About 9 o'clock, a little after sunrise, the road was almost deserted, as it was not yet time for the Anglicans to go to the church of St. Sampson, or for the Wesleyans to go to the Eldad Chapel. In the portion of the road which separates the first tower from the second tower there were but 3 passers-by, a child, a man, and a woman. These 3 wayfarers, walking at a distance from each other, had evidently no connection with each other. The child, aged about 8 years, halted and looked at the snow with curiosity. The man followed the woman at an interval of 100 paces. He, as well as she, was proceeding in the direction of St. Sampson. The man, who was still young, seemed something like a working man or a sailor. He wore his everyday clothes, a jacket of coarse brown cloth and trousers with tarred leggings, which seemed to indicate that, notwithstanding the festival, he was not on his way to any chapel. His thick shoes of undressed leather, their soles garnished with big nails, left upon the snow an imprint more resembling the lock of a prison than the foot of a man. The woman wayfarer already had on, evidently, her church toilet. She wore a large wadded mantle of black corded silk, beneath which she was very coquettishly attired in a gown of Irish poplin in alternate stripes of pink and white, and, but for her red stockings, she might have been taken for a Parisian. She advanced with a light, free vivacity, and one divined that she was a young girl from that walk which had as yet borne no burden of life. She had that fugitive grace of bearing which marks the most delicate of transitions, youth, the 2 twilights mingled, the beginning of womanhood, the end of childhood. The man did not notice her. All at once, near a clump of green oaks standing at the corner of a small garden, at the spot called Basse Maison, she turned around, and this movement made the man look at her. She halted, seemed to reflect for a moment, then stooped down, and the man thought that she wrote something on the snow with her finger. She straightened herself up, set out on her way again, and redoubled her pace. Turned once more, this time with a laugh, and disappeared on the left of the road, in the path bordered by hedges which leads to the Chateau of Lièvre. When she turned for the second time, the man recognized Déruchette, a bewitching girl of the neighborhood. He felt no desire to hasten his steps, and a few minutes later he found himself near the group of oaks at the corner of the garden. He was no longer thinking of the pedestrian who had disappeared, and it is probable that if, at that moment, some porpoise had leapt out of the sea or some redbreast appeared on the bushes, this man would have passed on his way with his eyes fixed on the porpoise or the redbreast. Chance ordained that he should have his eyes cast down. His glance fell mechanically on the place where the young girl had paused. 2 tiny feet were imprinted there, and beside them he read this word, traced by her in the snow, Gilliatt. That word was his name. He was called Gilliatt. He remained for a long time motionless, gazing at that name, at those little footprints, at the snow. Then he pursued his way pensively. End of Book First, Chapter 1, A Word Written on a Blank Page.